Hello, everyone. This is KJ. Welcome back to Love's Teaching Will Travel. We have found ourselves after not one, not two, but now we're in 3 seasons of the podcast. And I'm so excited to have you back. There's so much that we're going to talk about this season, so many things we're going to be looking at. And I just want to say that I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to have the podcast back up and running. It has been a crazy past few months, but now I've got my mind right, work is flowing, everything that I'm doing is kind of on an upward trajectory. So I'm excited to just sit down and get the podcast out again and just get back into talking about teaching abroad, teaching online, informing and inspiring teachers who want to do the things that they love and live the life of their dreams. Now, to start off, I really wanted to dig deep into reassessing my why. If you go back to season 1, I talked about my reason for starting the podcast, my reason for getting into education, and how everything just snowballed into what I have now, which is such a wonderful experience as an educator in higher education, being able to travel the world, being able to support educators who want to be able to do the same things, and how this inspired me to write a book and all the amazing things that came of it. And so I wanted to just reassess my why, right? Like, what is my why for podcasting? What is my why for traveling? And what is my why for being able to teach from anywhere? Now, looking at why I wanted to get into podcasting, I wanted to be able to inform and inspire educators who, like me, when I started out, I didn't know where I wanted to go with my career. I loved working with children, I loved teaching, but there was so much that I felt that I couldn't do. I felt very, very restrained in my field, and I decided to do things differently, right? I'm sure many people thought I was crazy. I'm sure even when I started my travel blog, people were probably looking at me like, a travel blog? You're a teacher, what? Right? And so I just wanted to bring all the things that I love into one place. And I found that the podcast was a great place to do that. I could bring my love of teaching and my love of travel into one. And that's why it's called Love's Teaching Will Travel, right? So thinking about my why for traveling, I mean, what more can I say? I love to travel. I try to go on at least 2 trips a year, right? It's something that fulfills me. It makes me feel good. I get this warm feeling inside, especially when I'm about to get on a flight, right? So being able to travel has just been such a rewarding and amazing feeling and lifestyle. And it's definitely something I want to continue doing. I love meeting new people. I love being introduced to new cultures, new food, new music. And this is such an amazing way to do that, right? We get out of our comfort zone, we get out of our communities and our neighborhoods, and we can move, across this world and connect with so many different people by just getting out, right? And so traveling has been such a big part of that. And I know that my why for that is just to be able to connect with new people and learn new things, because I'm a lifelong learner. And one of the ways that I can continue to learn is by traveling, right? Now, looking at my why for being able to teach from anywhere, definitely being able to teach from home in higher ed has been, such an eye opener for me. I started off, in the classroom. I'd show up and, we've got faculty meetings and we've got all these things we have on campus. We've got clubs and all this, right? And unfortunately, 2020 shut that down. And so we had to think about different ways to build community, to teach our students, and to, get the information that we need to get to our students, right? Through a different platform. And being able to do that online has been an eye opener for me, right? Being able to not only do the work that I love, but also have some sense of flexibility has been awesome. And it inspired me to think bigger, about what I wanted to do with my teaching And I found teaching English online. I found tutoring children. And there's so many different ways that we can be able to teach from anywhere that no one really told us about or taught us about, but it's possible and you can do it. And so my why for being able to teach from anywhere is just being able to have that flexibility and that autonomy to do the thing that I love, but do it in places that I love as well, right? So if I'm going to Finland or if I'm going to Spain or wherever it is, I can still be able to do the work that I love and be in a place that I enjoy. So that's my why. I'm sure all of you are coming here with your own whys for, being a listener to this podcast, whether you're an educator or a friend of an educator, and perhaps you want to share this information with those people. Knowing your why and why you're here will help you to continue, pushing forward and inspiring yourself as well as inspiring others to do the things that they care about and the things that they love. Because in all honesty, if you're not doing the things that you love, it's going to make your life very, very miserable. And I've learned in this life that if I like cooking, guess what? I'm going to cook. If I like traveling, I'm going to travel. If I want to start a business, I'm going to start a business. Because if I love something and if I want to do something, I'm going to do it because it feels right for me, not because someone says I have to do it or someone thinks it's a good idea or why don't you get into this because of money. Do the things that feel right to you, right? Assess your why and why you're doing these things, and that's going to help to inform you going forward as an individual, right? As an empowered individual. And so I just wanted to, go back to why I started this podcast in the first place, why I enjoy traveling, why I enjoy teaching from anywhere, in order to continue informing and inspiring you as the listener to, the things that I know worked for me that might also work for you, right? I don't want to make assumptions because I don't live your life, but I know what helped me to feel free and empowered. And I'm curious to see, after years of interviewing this, educators who've done the same thing, if other people out there feel the same way that we did, right? So that's my why. That's why I continue to do this and why I'm so excited to be here in our third season, right? After the first season, I'm sure some thought I would give up and, stop doing this. But whether I have one listener, 1,000 listeners, I'm going to keep doing this because it's something that I enjoy doing and something that I have a secured why for why I'm doing it. And so I'm going to keep pushing forward and doing the things that I enjoy doing. Now, what's to come this season? I know you're all waiting for that. What's to come this season? We've got more interviews, right? We're going to be talking with teachers who've changed, their route. They've gone from teaching to maybe tech. They've gone from teaching to teaching, teaching in the US to teaching abroad or even teaching remote. We're going to have lots of discussions on remote teaching because something that I found as I'm trying to put, questions out there to get feedback from my audience on social media, a lot of people are interested in remote teaching. And so that's a topic that I really wanted to dive deep into this season. So you're going to be hearing discussions on that where we're having a lot of guests coming on and it's going to be an exciting time. And I hope that you join us each week at 7 p.m. Eastern time, right? To get the podcast episodes. I might even throw in some podcast videos on YouTube, right? You get to see my face, right? This season, because I want to be able to get at the audience of educators who are ultimately hiding, right? We're not seen, we're not heard, no one knows what we're doing out there. And after interviewing so many amazing women and hearing their stories, I want to get that story out there. I want to share the wealth and share the knowledge about what teachers are doing that are going against the mold, right? What teachers are doing that's going to be different than what your average teacher is doing, but they're doing it because they love it and they're doing it because it feels right to them, right? It's not going to be right for everyone, just like teaching abroad isn't for everyone, perhaps teaching remote isn't for everyone, but at least if we can get these stories out there, at least if we can share this information get people involved, get people informed, get people inspired. Perhaps this could lead to a bigger movement and a bigger community where we can share the wealth of our knowledge and our understanding about, teaching abroad and doing the things that we love to do and inspiring others to do the same. I think the message here is to be inspired to take risks. So many of us are so afraid to take risks, and I'm here to tell you there is no reward without the risk. You have to go out there and do the things, right? You have to go out there and live that life that you want because no one's going to give it to you, right? So make sure if you're feeling if you're feeling that you're inspired to do something different, continue listening to the podcast. If you're new here, go back and listen to the first 2 seasons so you can get an idea of who we are, what we're doing here, and how we're looking forward to building this amazing community of educators who are going against the mold and doing things differently, right? The thing is for you to know that you're not alone. There are so many teachers out there who are burnt out and they're tired, and I hear their stories and they're like, I'm so done with this. I want to do something different. But they don't know where to start, right? They don't know where to start. They don't know what to do next. And so we're here to say, hey, here's some things that you can do, and here are some ways that I can support you to get that done, right? So, looking forward to connecting with all of you. There are going to be more polls and opportunities for you to call in and share what your thoughts are because we're here as a collective, right? This isn't a one-man show, even though I'm the only host here. This isn't a one-man show, right? We're here to work together. Your feedback is important. Your thoughts are important. Being able to hear from the community is so, so important because it helps to continue informing what I do here and who I'm able to bring this to, and the empowerment and the support that these people can be able to have just by being able to listen and get some more information that they might not have had early on. So it's been great to be here. Remember to check in. We'll be back next week for episode 2, right, at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to connecting with all of you this season. Have a great day. Again, this is KJ. Bye.